Welcome back, Royalty. I hope that each of you had an amazing Christmas, that you were able to celebrate with those closest to you, and most importantly, I pray that each of you have been able to stay safe. Listen, as we start to move forward into this next year, I know it feels like we've been in an unprecedented situation for the last 2 years, okay? We were literally in a pandemic last year. We started the new year of 2021 in a pandemic, and it feels like it is. We're going to start 2022 in the same way. And I think that one of the things that can keep us grounded, one of the things that can keep us focused is making sure that we're allowing our plans and everything that we're asking God to do in our lives, everything that we're believing God for, that we're placing it at God's feet first, okay? And so that's what our topic is going to be for today. Our scripture for today comes from the book of Esther, chapter 4, and it reads like this. Go gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. To refresh your memory, there was a plot in Susa to kill all of the Jewish people. And it was initiated by this jealous dude called Haman, right? So Esther became queen when she married King Xerxes, and he did not know that she was of Jewish heritage. And so when her cousin asked her to go before the king and plead for the lives of her people, she was scared. Because if you went before the king without an invitation, you risk death. And that's why our text tells us that she said, if I perish, I perish. But before she did anything, before she acted on Mordecai's recommendation, before she went before the king to plead for her people's lives, what is it that she did? She fasted. She fasted. And I want you to understand that at this time, fasting was always accompanied with prayer. So before Esther acted on her plans, she fasted and prayed. And that's what I want each of us to do. In this next week, I want you to find 2 to 3 people that you trust. It could be friends, it could be family members. I want you to find them and I want you to link with them. And this is important because remember, our text tells us that she asked Mordecai to gather all of the people and her attendants to fast along with her. And so you need some people to join you on this journey. And I want us to also remember that fasting can take different shapes, okay? So Kingdom Fellowship is doing the Daniel fast, which is a food based fast where you sacrifice certain foods in order to get closer and focus on your spiritual development and relationship with God. So that's one option, but there are other fasts that you can take part in. And as many of you are inundated in social media right now, and y'all, I've been overwhelmed by TikTok. It's insane. And so if you want to do a social media fast, if that would be a sacrifice for you, then do that. If you want to fast from television, then do that. But choose something to give up in order to get closer to God so that you can ensure that whatever it is you're believing God for, whatever your New Year's resolutions might be, you can be sure that they're in alignment with God's will. And if you aren't already familiar with the story of Esther, it would be wrong of me to leave you in suspense. When she did fast and pray, when her people fasted and prayed alongside her, she did go before the king. She did plead for the life of herself and for her people, and it was successful. It's important to remember that once you fast and pray, once you lay your hopes, your vision, whatever it is that you're believing God for at God's feet, God not only will come through for you, but he'll blow your mind when he does. He has a tendency to do things bigger and better than we could ever have thought of for ourselves. And so that is why it's so important. That's why I urge you to fast, okay? Over these next few weeks, join us in the Daniel fast if it's okay with your doctor, or find a different fast that works for you, and then trust that God will answer. Prayer and fasting is a two-way street, and God will respond. All you have to do is start. That's all that I have for you all today. Praying for each of you, praying that you stay safe, okay? Praying that you're masked up. This pandemic is not over, but we're trusting and believing God for covering. And so I look forward to seeing you next week. Stay popping, y'all, and be blessed.